He's in the battle there with Brian. We'll see who we've got. We'll wait for them to come through the lead. Once that occurs, if you'll lead, sure, we've lost your victory. Sorry. We'll put those across the line just go.
Hi, my name's Simon Healy. I'm here at Keilor racing at the 2018 Polistena Cup. It's the 4th round of Victorian State Driver Series.
Well, welcome to the 4th round of the Victorian Driver Series for electric off-road 10th scales cars. We're here for the Polistena Cup 2018. It's an inaugural event which we've renamed from the Keilor Cup. We've done so not lightly, we don't change event names lightly. We named it after Mark Polistena. He was the president here for 10 years and he contributed for over 20 to 30 years in the RC community. 20 years at Keilor and 10 years at Melton. Mark was a kind, generous soul who everyone really liked. No one ever said a bad word about Mark, and we took the time to rename the event in his honour. It was very well deserved, and unfortunately he passed away battling an illness at a very young age.
In memory of Mark, and this is what Mark would have loved. He used to love coming down to Keilor and just seeing everyone enjoy themselves and have a great time, and even if it meant that he could improve someone else's race day or experience at the sacrifice of his own, that's really what Mark was all about, and it's just great to see everybody sort of embrace that and make the weekend great.
Yeah, g'day, my name's Scott Giles. We're here at Keilor RC Club today, racing the last round of the Victorian Driver Series and the inaugural Polistena Cup in memory of Mark Polistena. I enjoy the competition and the camaraderie with my friends and things. I've been racing for so long, I've developed great friendships with many people, and I enjoy the competition. I don't take my cars out at home and play with them in the backyard. That's not what I do it for. I like racing, so I like putting them on a track and competing, and the finals especially, grid starts are the best, and racing for position, that's what I do it for.
Hi, I'm John Krillis, President of Templestowe Flat Track Racers here in Templestowe. The track itself's been here for 35 years. It originally started out as an off-road track, mid-80s. Back then, the City of Manningham was still a big supporter of the club. Off-road racing had just started out in the state and was very, very primitive at the time. A lot of the racers actually rocked up on the day. It was a dirt track, stood on a log and raced. Today it's a little bit more advanced than that. We're running on bitumen, which is specifically designed for this type of application. The cars themselves are electric, only electric racing that we do here, and it's all 1/10 scale touring car, 1/12 scale pan car, F1 and minis. So it's a mixture of cars, a mixture of combinations, a mixture of classes. The club itself consists of about 70 members at present and growing. We cater for juniors all the way through to advanced modified. Some of the facilities we have here are the best in the country. There's a lot of other good tracks out there. In the state of Victoria though, we obviously do set the benchmark rather high. We use a state-of-the-art lap counting system as you do in most motorsports, which is A and B, and it measures the lap times of every racer. Apart from that, racing here is every second and fourth Sunday of the month, and we have a night series that we run occasionally too during the summer just to get away from that midday heat that does blister down. The cars themselves range in speed also, so the smaller class of 21.5 probably hits about 45 kilometres per hour. The next scale motor up than that, which is a brushless motor again, is 13.5. That in itself would probably hit about 65, 70 kilometres per hour. And then our modified, or our open motor, which is essentially unlimited turns on the motor, they will generally hit about 100, 120 kilometres per hour as they scoot up the straight. The scary part is the corner at the end of the straight, making sure that you make that. It's a family-friendly environment. We want everyone to come down and have a bit of fun. Even if you don't want to race, come down on an off day and there's generally someone here that can help out and let you enjoy the day. We've partnered with a couple of suppliers and we have a grassroots package. So Smoke 'em RC is one of the club's sponsors. We have quite a few sponsors here at TFCR that obviously support us, as you can see from around the track itself. But they've actually got a beginner's package, which is you buy it, you build it, you race it, and it's got everything you essentially need, bar paint and a transponder. So if you put those into the application, you can do that. There's also Speedy RC that has a similar package out there. It caters for that very, very beginner. So basically you get a car, it's robust, it's strong, and it will let you have hours and hours and hours of fun and allow you to start off in racing and then actually progress through. So you can have a look at some of the cars and you'll see that they're basically made out of carbon fibre bottom deck and top deck, and electronics inside. We're all part of RCRA, which is the Australian Radio Control Car Association. Essentially, we're all together as part of that one body and we race around the country. So essentially you race here. Once we run the Masters event, you'll gather points. Those points go to a national ranking, which then that national ranking, depending on the class, will open up opportunity for you to race internationally. So it's a grading system essentially based on your abilities and obviously your racing calibre. There was a bit of a hiatus. It seemed like everyone maybe gravitated to the iPads and got stuck in that. But now we're actually seeing a lot of people come back to the RC car side of things. There's been a bit of a transition, and as technology has changed, so has the hobby. So now you actually control a lot with your smartphone or your tablet in the way that you tune and calibrate your car. Kids actually finding it fun again. So that's the important thing. We make sure that the competition's a balance between go out and have some fun and challenge yourself, win and lose, but at the same time, get out there and enjoy the time with your friends, family, parents, whoever it may be that's going to be there. You're outdoors, you're cutting laps, it's generally fun. It's something different. I've been on and off in the hobby for quite some time. At present, probably the last 10 years, I've been well and truly ingrained in the sport. Very big part of my life has been TFTR for quite some time. Now my kids are in the hobby also, so it's a bit of fun there having them along with me and hanging out with Dad and learning something different. You know, it's nice when you actually see a kid with a screwdriver in their hand start to wrench and figure out, well, if I pull this apart, I can put it back together. The one thing I saw is they had something broken and they instantly say, well, I'll get a new one. Where it's that mentality where you're able to break here and say, no, you actually have to fix it. So pull it apart, figure out what's wrong and go from there. Myself, I think it's a great hobby. It's an excellent pastime. It's probably the closest thing you're going to get to motorsport on a budget. It's a scale sport, and it's 1/10 essentially that we're racing. And the geometry and the race characteristics of a car pretty much are mimicking a full-scale race car. What it does on the track is essentially the same thing.
Yeah, so we've had 100 drivers this weekend, which is one of our biggest entries we've seen for many, many years. The classes we'll be running is two-wheel drive juniors, which is an under 16, two-wheel drive 21.5 turn buggy, two-wheel drive stock buggy, and then of course the premier class two-wheel drive mod buggy. Then we do a four-wheel drive 13.5 turn stock buggy, and then four-wheel drive mod buggy, which are the really exciting guys, the really aggressive driving, and we finish off with a stadium truck class.
Hi, my name's Jordan Izagen. I'm 13 years old and today we're racing at the 2018 Polistena Cup. I've been racing for 6 years and 2 years in the modified class. I race a team associated four-wheel drive, which is this, and a team associated B6.1 two-wheel drive. I use Team Powers Electrics and J Concepts rubber. I'm sponsored by Traction RC, Ace Harbor Distributors, Team Powers, 720 Spin and Berserk RC.
Hello, I am Lachlan Monday and I am a RC racer. Today I'm at Keilor RC Club and racing in the Polistena Cup. I race in the two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive modified class, and I just finished my first four-wheel drive race and I managed to get fourth, and I got third in two-wheel drive. I use the associated B64D and B6.1D. It's really called the modified class because you can kind of change steering and motor and all that. The only adjustments I have at the moment are just the normal suspension adjustments that most people change. Some more aggressive gearing and just some changed timing.
The weekend hasn't been too bad. I'm currently leading the driver series, but after today, more than likely, Ray will probably win it, considering my qualifying results have been a little ordinary, but still in the A mains, mid-pack.
Both Bird and the surgeon.